goes right back to the fundamentals of what's constructive and what's non-constructive. Every move that we make is either constructive or non-constructive. There's no such thing as in between. That keeps it real simple. And that's something that can jump to a person's mind real quick without a whole lot of rhetoric that goes on for hours and hours and hours, and people wind up just going in a circle. I mean, you look at anything, any move that you get ready to make, and you ask, well, wait a minute. If I make this move, is it going to have a result that's constructive or non-constructive? And that's all day long. If you just do that all day long, just put everything in one of those two categories, everything will automatically fall in place. Whether you choose to do it or not, you will know exactly where you're going. You'll always have a handle on what you're doing and why you're doing it, because the result is what you're looking for. And the result's either going to be constructive or non-constructive. If you're getting ready to buy that car, so you're saying, what do I want to do? Okay, why do you want to do it? Now, if you want to do it to impress your neighbors, then you have to ask yourself that bottom line question. Is this constructive? I mean, so I impress my neighbors, so they are impressed. All right, so now what have I got? I got a car payment. This means that I got to get an extra job on this very expensive vehicle. Okay, now is that constructive? Is this going to produce a constructive result just to impress my neighbors, some other black people who are struggling to make it, and I'm struggling to make it? I mean, what is this funny business all about? I mean, does this make sense? Is it constructive? Is it going to produce a constructive result? Are people going to shower me with all kind of gifts on account of this fancy car that I bought? Or are they going to pay my house note? Or are they going to see to it that I have money to send an offspring off to college because I have a fancy car parked in the driveway? So maybe the answer to that question is, this may not be a constructive move. Maybe I ought to keep this vehicle that I got and just put an extra coat of polish on it and let it go at that. Just a simple thing like that. Every move that you make, you gauge it, whether it's going to be constructive or non-constructive. You don't have to use a whole lot of fancy words. See, that keeps the language real simple. Constructive, non-constructive. Cause and effect. These are the laws of the universe. Black people have not been tapping into the laws of the universe, meaning getting the most constructive result out of every move that you make. And that includes conversations. If you say something, you say, is this conversation constructive? And if it is constructive, how is it constructive? By producing what result? Because it always comes down to what the result is going to be of every move that you make. There's a lot of black people making a lot of moves right now as we speak. And some of them, and this brings up a subject that I was thinking about talking about when I was asked the initial question. I mean, what are some of the people have been talking to me about? And that is some of the prominent black politicians. Many of them are on their way to jail because they haven't learned the lesson that in that hokey movie, that I sometimes refer to, going back to 1972, Godfather 1 or Godfather 2 in 1974, Don Corleone told Michael what? Whomever approaches you to set up this meeting is a traitor.